Hi. Since everyone wanted to hear about my OCS and projects, I'm doing that, laughing face. I probably will turn this into a series, as I have a lot of OCS. We are the biggest and oldest project. Train Ride to Hell. It's basically set in a fictional country, where it's extremely cold. The first OC in the timeline is named Medea. Around in the Middle Ages is where her story takes place. When Medea was around 6, she somehow escaped the castle and one of the god's minions, the god of chaos, met with her. It essentially placed a curse on her, letting some evil possess her. Due to this curse, her parents D1A, and she takes the throne at only a mere 6 years old. In this world, women take charge instead of men. So her older brother, who was around 13 at the time, gets cast aside for her. During her reign, famine, disease and D3th was all over the country. Everyone went to her features and pronounced her at fault. There was a civil war due to this. She eventually was captured and sent to death at only 8 years old. Her body was placed somewhere and was preserved for thousands of years until she was found and dug up. Queen Medea is used as an example of when you sin in the god's eyes, which formed a lot of the country's beliefs. That's it. Thank you for listening to me ramble. This is part 2 of talking about my OCS. The second OC is named Tessinth. Tessinth is 12 years old. She works with her family. For this woman, one day, this woman gets angry at her for whatever reason and then decides just to murk her. Her husband then made a sculpture in her likeness, hiding the body in that. In like 1903, the sculpture is found and becomes part of a museum. After the 1981 act of Tagini's after the mass disappearance in 1950, 1981, she was actually used in propaganda to let parents feel better about leaving their UID disease children. I will explain this in part 3, I swear. Her sculpture was also passed down and was placed in the Star Branch's main compound. Somehow she was revived through Milo. She grew up and had a daughter, Rosie. Of course, being heavenly due to Milo, they are worshipped by the Star Branch. That's all for now. Thank you for listening to me. 3. Part 3 finally is here. Sorry it took so long. I have been focused on Minecraft growing heart. Next we are doing 2 this time. They're Molly and Gwen. I swear a male will be part 4 LMAO. They're one of the youngest at 6 years old. Most of my OCS are kids BC. I made them when I was a kid, by the way. Basically their lore is that they're both child workers. Molly is a child soldier and Gwen is a nurse. WW1 in this world only ended in 1930. IDK why I just decided that, but yeah. During the war, their country wanted to make a bioweapon. So they were experimenting with hybrid plants and created umquilli. Umquilli is made from lavender, with several differences. Umquilli has more flowers and can grow utterly massive if not maintained. The smell has also enhanced to a significant degree. It's also highly poisonous. The roots harden when outside the ground and go through concrete. It produces spores and is radioactive. They needed someone to test on with this bioweapon, so experimented with their own soldiers. This so happens to be Molly and Gwen. The flower is only its early stages with slight variations. This would develop into pink MB, which is medication for people affected with the flower spores. It's a condition called umquilli inhalation disease U.I.D, which I won't be getting into. Molly had type 1 and Gwen had type 2. Type 1 causes the hair to lose color and has side effects of insomnia, cold, and low heart rate. Type 2 can cause permanent numbness in limbs, lost taste and smell, hypersonia, fever, and high heart rate. Gwen was sent back and watched her sister deteriorate while she also did. They D1 ed. A couple weeks after, Gwen D1 ed 7 minutes before her and Molly watched it. 2 years later the war ended. That's basically it for them. There were others, but those 2 are the only ones I made, so I didn't have to make the count 100 plus. Fun fact, their Earth is actually called SAW 123 EA BC of aliens naming it. It shares its orbit with SAW 123 EB, Thea, smiley face, and has 3 moons instead of 1. Hi again. This is part 4 of explaining my OCS 3. This time we are finally in the 1940 S50S. Milo was born around 1940 in WW2. At this time, umquilli has stopped being only in labs and sort of escaped into the world. Umquilli is a highly poisonous flower, as we've talked about. The roots grow quickly and when it pokes out of the ground, hardens enough to go through concrete. It also produces spores, which causes UID, umquilli inhalation disease, where the spores are breathed in and flowers begin growing within the body. 97% usually D1E in stage 1 within the first couple hours due to suffocation. The spores LK can just fill the lungs due to how much it produces. 80% of people who catch UID are under 10. Milo is alive during the spread of this flower. It does start getting maintained after the war, due to the government having more time to focus on it. Milo is 7 currently. His father works with artifacts and old human bones. A massive discovery happens. They find Queen Medea's perfectly preserved remains within her coffin. His father is one of the people who finds it and is about to tell everyone. However, Milo gets locked in with all his father's works, which included the body. I think you can see where this is going. So he basically eats her due to hunger. He wasn't fed right as a child. After this he changes. He doesn't age despite the years that went by. His father practiced Morinism and made a cult around his son. But Milo began to rapidly R3T and be little more than a skeleton. Obviously, they needed something to stop him from withering away. That's when they started kidnapping kids, specifically with UID. They go into the Korokoni forest, where there's a bunch of Umkulai there, and they build a facility. In the years of 1950 to 1981, 7,000 children with UID are kidnapped and harvested. This causes the Tagan Act of 1981. It states anyone with UID child or not will be forced, under the government's supervision for their safety, and be placed in a specialized SHOM facility. It's essentially sick, homeless, orphan and mentally ill get sectioned away from the rest of the society. It's called the Star Branch. However, it's maintained by the cult LMAO. Milo then gets tested on and worshipped. Types of MB is made with his body of Umquili and pots that make MB. He's still mentally 7 and is more a scared animal than a human at this point. His body swelled up and is now roughly 20 feet crouched and 20 feet wide, tongue poking smiley. He's trapped in a massive room in the underground. He's hooked up to thousands of wires, which deposit his supplies to greenhouses. Oh. Hi again. This is part 5 of rambling about my OCS 3. We are doing Ren finally. After 1981, the Star Branch get a donation, which is like this random code. They look through it and start thinking. They decide to actually just upgrade the thing, which takes 4 whole years. The body was then made in 4 years. If you can't tell, they made a robot out of that code. Her name is Ren, or G.L.O.W.I.E1. She was made to look 10, mainly to be more relatable to kids IG. Ren was made for heavy cargo, eliminating danger risks, security and maintaining the Star Branch. She went through upgrades, only approved through the interest of the government. Ren runs on a mixture from a more potent substance of pink MB. It's radioactive, and she has only 2 tanks of it, which needs to be heavily guarded to not let it get out. Ren got several siblings over the years. She got better and better over the years. She is approximately around 200 pounds. An update in 2019 added another 25 pounds. She's 4'9". Ren was based on a rosy maple moth. Her main handler is named Gary. She has 7 siblings, 3. She likes to drink and smoke. She has like a thing, so it doesn't interfere with the rest of her. She was about 62 when she was finally put to rest. I will make a video on all of them hopefully soon. That is all, thank you. That's it for now, bye. Thanks for watching.